This meeting will now come to order. This is the Vergne Board of Zoning Appeals, May 31st, 2016, regular meeting, 5:30 p.m. I called this meeting to order, and we do have a quorum here. And the first thing I will ask is, all members had a chance to read the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
When you're ready, the board will accept a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve them.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? They're passed. Tonight we have one item of new business. It's an accessory structure variance requested by Jason Wade, property located at 593 Butternut Trace, R2 medium density residential zoning district, parcel owned by Jason Wade. Kristen, may we have the report, please?
The applicant, Mr. Jason Wade, who is represented tonight by his wife, Miss Sarah McGill, is requesting approval of an accessory structure variance to allow for the installation of a small storage shed. It's roughly 16 by 12 feet. It's proposed to go in the left-hand side of the yard, and all accessory structures per the zoning ordinance are required to be in the rear yard and at least 10 feet from the property line, as you can see on the screen. And this property is zoned R2. The house is the first house as you go into the Hickory Springs subdivision. You can see the recorded plat on the screen. Again, it's R2 medium density residential, and the lot is about 1/3 of an acre. Because it's a corner lot, you can see it's 35 feet from Old Nashville Highway and 35 feet from Butternut Trace. That leaves about 16 feet from the rear property line to the rear of the house. And that basically precludes Mr. Wade from being able to put his storage shed there. He has proposed, again, to put it on the left-hand side of the property right here. There's a very large mature tree that sits just outside where he wants to put the shed. The edge of the house is about 55 feet from Old Nashville Highway. He cannot put the shed on the other side of the property due to an existing drainage structure and head wall. There is a 20-foot PUDE that runs here along Old Nashville Highway. However, the location of the shed, if it were to be approved, it's proposed to be 4 feet off the side of the house. With it only being 12 feet wide and 16 feet deep, it would still leave 39 feet from the edge of the shed to Old Nashville Highway. There's also proposed to be 25 feet from the edge of the shed to the rear property line, so that would match, or that would meet all the requirements. The very large tree will actually, and you can see here, it's 55 feet from the edge of the house to Old Nashville, and there's only about 16 feet in that rear area. You can see Hickory Springs, that's the entrance, that's the house. That's where you first turn into Hickory Springs, and there's the house right there. You can see the large tree I was mentioning. They're proposing to put the shed right here. I'm sorry for the darkness of these photos. There is the drainage area that runs along Old Nashville Highway. Again, there'll still be roughly 39 feet from the edge of the shed to the road. So the drainage easement will be completely intact and unencumbered. That is the other side of the house, and you can see just right in here is where this head wall is. So, and that is directly across the street. The other entrance, the other house across the street. You can see the large water tank that sits there. So, I think in the past month that the sign has been posted on the property, I've received 4 phone calls. 3 of them had no concern with the request. The 4th caller asked for me to formally register an unfavorable disposition due to the property's location at the entrance to the subdivision. He had already made mention of the water tank, which of course is part of the subdivision, but just doesn't want to see the front of the subdivision getting quote-unquote junked up with things. So that is my report, and again, Ms. McGill is here if you have any questions.
Okay. Does the board, would you take the podium, please? Would you raise your hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Would you state your name and address for the record, please?
Sarah McGill. I live at 593 Butternut Trace.
Okay. Did you hear the report that Kristen gave? Do you have anything to add, take a this concern, whatever you want to say?
It's basically going to be what she described, the location. It's going to be on the left side of the house. Well, it would be the right side if you were inside of the house. It's going to be pretty much within the same material of the house. We're going to try and keep it, very neutral and not.
Okay. Is the shed going to be brick?
It may be brick. We haven't discerned materials at this point in time, but it's going to be very close related to the house.
Okay.
So if not brick, something to kind of match.
All right. Do board members have any questions?
Why is it we can't have it on the other side of the house?
The other side of the house has the culverts,
Right.
which makes it hard for us to actually access that other side. It's also, as you can see, the rock. There's a lot of rock that's just underneath the surface, making it hard for us to be able to actually
Yeah, you can see it.
make it even. And we do plan on putting up a fence around the entire property so that it would be enclosed within the fence. So you wouldn't actually be able to see it at that point.
Oh, you won't be able to see through the fence?
No, at the point in time when we actually get the fence up, you shouldn't be able to see it through the fence.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
Is the roof going to be the same colour as the existing
Yes.
house? And the fence that you mentioned, is that going to be in the near future, or when would you propose it?
Very near future, hopefully over the next 4 months. We're actually going to be going on vacation, and we need to have our dogs have a place to be indoors and outdoors, so it's going to have to be within this summer.
Have you moved forward getting a fence permit yet?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah.
All possibilities for it being in the backyard or just out the window?
Really, with what we're trying to keep it close to the front of the house is so that we can access the lawnmower to be able to get out the front side of the house and kind of come around and mow the lawn that way. And then we'd have access through the fence to get to the backyard where the dogs would be. So it would be easier for us to be able to get in and out through the front
I'm
side.
not understanding why you would still have access to the shed from the backyard.
We would, but we'd also be using it to store things like our recycling and whatnot that we'd be accessing from the front side of the house. If that makes sense. We'd be coming out,
So it's a matter of convenience that you want it towards the front. And
Right.
to the side where Old Nashville is.
not Old Nashville, but Butternut Trace. We're not facing it out towards the road, but towards Butternut Trace.
So it's out of convenience, not necessity, but you put it to the side instead of the back. Convenience or necessity?
I guess. I would say convenience rather than necessity.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to accept or deny the petition, please.
Make a motion to accept the application as submitted.
Do I hear a second? I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the motion. We'll take a voice vote. Mr. Goodman? Craig?
Aye.
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 It's unanimous. Aye. Congratulations. All right. There is no further business for us tonight, and so we stand adjourned.